We're just gonna go for it. And I'm gonna start. So the first piece on the list for today is Pauline Viardot's Two Pieces for Piano. So we're gonna see if this works. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully it'll work. So this is her gavotte. And yeah, it's in 2/4, G major, So that's very encouraging. So that was a piece, that was the Gavotte by Pauline Viardot. And I'm assuming she's French, and I don't remember her years, but I'm currently researching a lot of piano music written by women. So this is one that was in my list that I wanted to do. So that's that one. I think she also has a serenade, so I'm going to go ahead and look at that one as well. Yeah. this one looks a little trickier. So actually I think we have a lot on the docket today, so I might go ahead and go on to the next one. I can always come back to that one. The next piece, this one was requested by one of the people that likes to listen, and this is by the composer himself. And I'm sorry if is it Louis Sauter? Maybe he can correct me on how to say his name. But this is his Les Noces de Chounette, and he had requested, I've already done the third movement, so today we're gonna do the first and the second movement. The first movement is like a Hungarian dance. It's an homage to Bela Bartok, so this should be lots of fun. All right, Vivo, oh dear, Vivo is always exciting. Definitely looks like Hungarian melodies. This should be fun. Lots of tempo changes. It's in E minor, which I love E minor, so awesome. And of course, like all good Hungarian tunes, there's an accelerando at the end. So let's give this a go and see what chord was right. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of fun. I love Hungarian tunes. Lots of fun to hear those. All right. Next on the docket is Les Noces de Erwin. And this is an homage to Frédéric Chopin. And again, this is by Louis Sauter. E minor still, very Chopin-esque left hand. So just largely outlining chords. But especially with this type of accompaniment, I like to focus on really giving a lush sound to the first note of the eighth note every 4 of them, or actually for this one, every measure, because that really sets off like a harmonic sequence. And even if I miss some notes, I've got that harmonic underpinning, which makes it lovely. Then you've got a very nice, looks like melody in the right hand that gets embellished as we go. So here we go. And I don't think it changes keys, nope. So all E minor. I'm trying to figure out. A good tempo. 4. Really beautiful. I enjoyed that. So thank you for sending that along. I appreciate it. Okay, next. Oh, I should say again. So that's Les Noces de Hélène from Louis Sauter's Les Noces de Chounette. It must have to do with his marriage to his wife. I'm kind of looking and spying here. There's even a wedding picture in the front. That's really cool. All right, the next request, I have no idea what this is going to be like. This request was placed by Peter Shanahan, who is a flute professor where I work, and he requested 2 pieces by Erwin Schulhoff, who I don't know his music at all, so this should be interesting. This is his 11 Inventions. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is like totally night and day difference. Let's see. He lived from 1894 to 1942. Very different. There's no time signature. Luckily, it's lento, this first one, and it's only 1 page. So we'll definitely do that one, and we'll try some of these and see what they're like. Lots of ledger lines, but I'm just going to do a lot of deducing what they are. Oh, and what I should say is when I'm sight reading things that don't look like they're going to be as tonal, I really focus on trying to get into the mindset of the composer as quickly as possible. Like, are they interested in certain intervals or motives, or is it kind of more on the more random side? I don't know. It sometimes helps. Very different. Definitely motivic in my mind. Very open intervals and harmonies, at least for this specific one. So that was nice. And because there's no time signature, it does make it a little bit different, and that poses a challenge. But there's also some freedom in that. So what I try to focus on before I start is making sure I know the ratio between the different rhythmic values. So make sure I know and have internalized a little bit, you know, 8th notes, 16th notes, and how they relate to each other. This one, the second one, is marked Allegro molto. This should be interesting. No key signature, but of course there's lots of accidentals. Very motivic again. Looks like he's really playing with fourths, whether they be perfect fourths or augmented fourths. Yeah, they're all over the place. Like, even the chords he uses are fourths piled on top of each other. So, like, when in doubt, you know, if I play fourths, chances are I'll be correct in this one. He also has this interesting tremolo thing. All right, let's try it. I don't know. So, so what I was talking about 8th notes. So there's 8th notes and 16th notes in here. And interestingly enough, the 8th notes are beamed, and the 16th notes, they alternate between being beamed 3 at a time and 4 at a time, so it's a little tricky to know how to approach this. So I think for this one, I'm gonna largely just go for, I want the 8th notes to be slower than the 16th notes. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I think that's good on Schulhoff for me right now. These are really challenging to read for multiple reasons, but I always like to take on a good challenge. And especially with music like this, another one of my goals, in addition to just trying to get into the mind of the composer as quickly as possible, which I do for all pieces actually, but even more so for this music, is I really try to grasp onto like different textures and anything that smacks of being lyrical or melodic. I try to really grab onto those because that will help to create some different texture in there. So texture, I guess I look for texture. All right, so we're gonna move on from Schulhoff for now to another request, which was, okay, and this is actually really long. This is Richard Wagner's Fantasia. I do not know this. I am not a huge fan of Wagner. I'm just going to say that right now. But that's okay. It looks actually quite operatic because there's recitatives. So that's kind of interesting. It looks like it's going to be in F sharp minor. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. There's a really long recitative. Holy moly. This is very different. All right, we'll see how far I get. I need to keep an eye on time too. All right. Most of the rhythmic movement is eighth notes. There's no metronome marking to give me a clue. So I'm kind of just guessing based on the style of the music and the melody. All right, let's try it. Okay, we're almost done. that was like epic, but I think like a good kind of epic. So thank you for that recommendation. That was Wagner's Fantasia. So wow, I mean, talk about orchestral, lovely sounds and that type of thing. So that's pretty cool. So I'm glad to have been introduced to that. And yeah. Okay, I think the other request, there was another request that was a Schulhoff piece. And I think because that one was so long, I might not do it. I might save it for next time. So that I don't know if this is any better. Okay, so somebody mentioned Liszt's Eclogue because I did an Eclogue last time, and so I think he thought, oh sure, but I don't know it. It's Allegretto though. I don't know. I could totally bomb on it. I'm not very good at Liszt, I'm just saying. Okay. You know what? Why not? We're just gonna try it. Throw caution to the wind. So this is Liszt's Eclogue from the Years of Pilgrimage. I do not know this at all. And I'm not gonna probably do it at the correct tempo, but let's give it a whirl. It's in a flat major. This is good because I don't usually play Wagner or listen to Wagner or Liszt, so it's good for expanding my horizons. Oh, that's way too slow. This is gonna be insane. actually not so hard to read, but oh my gosh, there were some nuts times. A lot of times today, one thing I've had, you start to like second guess yourself, and you're like, wait a second, what clef is my left hand in? I'm very confused. That I had several of those moments. All right, it's 2 o'clock, but I got started a little bit late because of my technical difficulties. So thanks for those that hung in with me, and I'm assuming this is still working. We're gonna finish with Pauline Viardot's Mazourke. I don't know much about her, but she's a new composer to me, and I decided to read some of her things. So this was one of my requests. It's in C minor, and it's a Mazourke, so that's helpful. It's in 3/4. It looks like it does go into a vivace. It starts off just tempo de Mazourke, and then it goes into a vivace. But I probably won't really alter the tempo very much, just for my own sanity's sake. It doesn't change key. The left hand does go up into treble clef, so that, based on what I was just dealing with, that is really good to know. It looks like it only does that for one line, so I need to take note of that. Okay, let's do it. And there is a repeat, so I may do it if I bomb on the first time. 1, 2. like her, I shouldn't say actually, I like Pauline Viardot's music from what I've heard so far from today. So that's exciting. So that's it for today. Because my beginning got cut off, because it wasn't recording properly, I just wanted to remind people that I do this Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I try to do it as consistently as possible. And you can tweet me or message me on Facebook or make a comment on this video if you have specific requests. I need them to be links to pieces on IMSLP, imslp.org. And while you're there, you can donate to them because it's an absolutely fantastic resource where we can get public domain music at any time. So anyway, donate to them. Send me links of music from there. I use them because then it's all in the public domain and I don't have to worry about copyright issues. If you can get it to me an hour before the scheduled time, I'll try to put it on the docket. If not, I'll bump it to the next time. But it's a lot of fun for me. I'm having so much fun discovering music I've never heard about and meeting composers that I didn't know about. So other thing I would just point out is that I live stream my practice sessions every morning at 9 a.m. as well, if you want to see my process with practicing. And along those lines, I'm a big, huge advocate for perfecting what we do in the practice room so that our practicing is more efficient and all that type of jazz. If you're interested in what I do and what I have to offer, along the bottom of the screen you'll see my webpage, beyondthenotescoaching.com. You can go there and find out everything that I have to offer. I have everything like from a la carte coachings to boot camps and like makeovers. So come back again next time. Thank you for joining me.